everyone. You are now watching MDC in Action, and I'm your host, Susie Guillaume, with our guest here, Felicia Hatcher, at the African American Read-In. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself, Felicia.
Thank you so much for having me here, Susie. I like to go by the Chief Popsicle of a company called Feverish Ice Cream and Gourmet Pops. I'm an author, and I'm also a mom.
That's cool. So now tell us a little bit about this book that you have. How to Start a Business on a Ramen Noodle
How to
Budget.
Start a Business on a Ramen Noodle Budget is the second book that I wrote, and it's really geared towards the college student. It has a college student in mind, hence the word ramen noodles. So it's really all about, I started my first business at the age of 19, and it was an educational consulting company I started after winning a ton of money in scholarships. And I started my business on my college campus using every possible resource that was there. I also started with no money, which is the big thing. And I like to tell people, with all the technology we have, with all the resources that we have, if you have an idea, you have to catapult that idea right away. And no better place than catapulting it right on a college campus and with a ramen noodle budget.
Right. Now, a lot of students have a fear of entrepreneurship. They are afraid to go out there. What examples can you give to them, or what can you share to empower students to go out there and do what they have to do?
Right. So there's a few reasons why people have that fear inside their head and they don't start a business. And I like to call that ramen noodle common mistakes, right? Common myths, essentially. One is they think they have to have a lot of money. So I like to tell students, if you have ever turned a ramen noodle pack into a gourmet meal, which we all have, right? You get that 59-cent packet of food. You may add a little chicken, add a little spice. If you're really feeling fancy, you light a candle. And if you can use that same creativity to say, hey, you know what? I have something small and cheap, and I want to turn it into something that is expensive and has value. If you can harness that same creativity, you can use that same creativity to start a business. It really is just getting that simple, right? So starting small, but constantly thinking big and getting traction. So if you hear the investors in Silicon Valley, or the reason that Instagram sold for $1 billion with $0 in revenue, it's because they had traction. So our students here, especially at Miami-Dade College, can start their business, can catapult their ideas. They can do it on a budget. They can use the students that are around them. They can use the resources, the free resources that are right here on campus, and then couple that with the education. You know, you guys have your lean manufacturing classes here. You have your entrepreneurship classes, your business classes that they can use in order to harness their talent and catapult their ideas.
Oh, wow. I wish I can go back to school and you can tell me this over again. Now, the community. We know how giving back is so important. Tell us about the programming that you have in the community.
Okay, absolutely. So we started Code Fever about 2 years ago, and it is a huge passion project of ours. And it was really started by seeing there's a gap in our community. We are some of the highest consumers of technology, especially when you're talking about minorities, but we're not the creators of technology. And that really comes with, one, not having access to the resources, but then also not understanding the opportunities that are there, but then also being in low opportunity areas. And so we couple that with technology training and entrepreneurship training so that they not only learn how to code, but they also learn how to monetize their skills while they're still young. We work with parents, we work with youth organizations, and our program is essentially a pop-up program. So, we work with existing organizations and we literally bring everything. The laptops, the food, which is always important, right?
Yeah.
The instructors, the mentors, everything that we need in order to get these kids excited about technology, expose them in a way that they understand, but most importantly, show them that they can actually build something with their hands and build something that they can end up selling and offering to the world.
Now, do you have any upcoming events that are coming up?
Oh, yes. So our big event that we're super excited about, super excited to partner with Miami-Dade College North Campus on, is Black Tech Week. So again, talking about the disparities that are in the tech space, but then also the huge opportunities that are in the tech space, we created Black Tech Week as a week-long series of events for youth as well as adults, for our community, so that we understand the opportunities that are there, but then also celebrate those people that are doing some amazing things in our community and globally. So we have Chinedu, who started the app HopStop out of New York, which was a mass transit app essentially, and ended up selling that to Apple for $1 billion, African guy. Wow. We have Mandela Hodges, that's the executive director of Startup EDU. We have the couple that started Makers Row. We also have a lot of venture capitalists that are coming down. So Brian Dixon from Cape Or Capital, Connie from the Collective Fund. So amazing resources, amazing people that are coming right here on this campus at Miami-Dade College in order to not only inspire, but then also connect the students that have those business ideas with funding sources, the resource, the people, and the human capital to make their ideas happen.
Wow. That's so awesome. Yeah. Now today we're at the African American Read-In and we're celebrating Black history and you're here celebrating with us. How thankful and grateful are you for being here?
I loved it.
Your book.
Yeah, thank you so much again, Miami-Dade, for having me here and really having this importance on literature and the Black community is important. You know, we have to celebrate our people that are here every single day, and I look forward to the rest of the programming that you guys have this month.
That is awesome. We're here to support you. Thank you for being here. Now stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Cool programs for hot jobs. Let Miami-Dade College jumpstart your career. We offer bachelor's degrees in film and TV production, nursing, electronics engineering, information systems technology, supervision and management, supply chain management, or choose from 300 other programs to study. You can take classes during the day, evening, weekend, or online. For more info, visit MDC.edu or call 305-237-8888. Get the knowledge and training for today's in-demand jobs. Register now. Miami-Dade College.
Welcome back to MDC in Action. I am here with our guest, Adrian Freeman, who is truly involved in the community. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
First of all, thank you for having me. But I am the Executive Director of Lead Nation. We are a mentoring organization who mentors middle and high school students here in South Florida. So we do a lot in the community to support learning and growth for young people, preparing them for college to hopefully one day be students right here at Miami-Dade College.
Now you're here today with us at the African American Read-In, where we celebrated Felicia and her book, How to Start a Business on a Ramen Noodle Budget. Now, what did you think about the event today?
Anybody who knows me knows that I love Felicia Hatcher. I think she is amazing. We've brought her in to speak to our students multiple times, and they love her presentation. From How to Start a Business on a Ramen Noodle Budget to even her first book, The C Student's Guide to College Scholarships. I mean, she is just a wealth of information. She brings a wealth of knowledge, and the work she does also supports the work that I do here in the community. Not to mention she's a tech guru and she does all this great technical stuff. So Felicia's pretty awesome. I think she gave some great tips today. Finding your passion, you know, what is failure, you know, all the great things she talked about, how to do epic-ish. You know, because I think we all have that epicness on the inside. So Felicia's amazing. I am a Felicia Hatcher fan all the way, and I'm so happy that you guys can have her out for Read It this month.
Awesome. Now, what tips would you give to students who are in college that are just starting off, they don't know their way around, just want to know how to get involved in the community, what to do next?
Well, first of all, if they're in college and they're new, I would first of all tell them to really understand why you're there and focus on that, you know, to really, you know, because the education is so important. I think when you're a college student, the community involvement would be secondary to the education, but there is a way to do it all and have it all. I did it at Florida A&M for many years, so I want them to be focused on their education, really get to know their professors, really understand why are they there, and to understand their passions. So as they select their majors and as they select their classes, really try to connect it to something that means something to them, and that will also drive their involvement in the community because they'll also be working in areas and doing things that mean something to them as well. So it's all connected, but for our students here at Miami-Dade College, we want you to focus on your education because with that foundation in education, it will launch you and catapult you to do anything you like to do in the community to really make a change.
Awesome. Now, Lead Nation, you said you work with Lead Nation and with students, right?
We do.
Now, what events do you have coming up that we can share?
We have to talk about the South Florida Youth Summit, which will be right here at Miami-Dade College. I'm so excited. President Harrison and Dean Perez have just been wonderful hosts for us. And we'll be here in March for the South Florida Youth Summit. We will have 300 middle and high school students from Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County right here learning about technology and education. It's all about offering opportunities for our young people to expand their horizons. It's all about giving them options and letting them know what the options that are available to them are. And there's no better place we can do that than right here on the campus of Miami-Dade College.
Now, this is open to college students and high school students?
It's open here at Miami-Dade College. It's for high school students, for our middle and high school students. And our college students will be doing a program for them at Broward College, who is your Broward County partner. So we'll have our college students in Broward County.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, today's event, African American Reading, how important do you think it is for us to continue to make sure that we expose our authors that are here, that are writing these important books?
Yeah.
How important is
It's important.
event?
I'm an author. You know, I wrote a book about 5 years ago, 10 Tips to Jumpstart Your Life Now. It's all about supporting each other. It's all about creating opportunities and creating platforms where all of these amazing people in South Florida have an opportunity to talk about the great things they're doing. So this Read It program, and I know we'll be coming up another one later in the year, is so important for the community. It's important for us authors. It's important for us to be linked and connected because we can all learn and grow from each other. There's just a wealth of information out here available to us.
Oh, thank you so much for being here, Adrian Freeman.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you at the South Florida Youth Summit. Students, stay tuned and make sure you are there. Thank you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The African American Reading event was very inspirational, very informative. It inspired me actually to go home right now and start writing my book and achieving and coming up with plans to achieve goals that I've had in mind, that I've had in my heart, that I want to conquer. It was very, very motivational.
Welcome back to MDC in Action. Joining us now is Dr. Colleen. Thank you so much for being here with us at the African American Reading. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm so honored to be here. I'm Colleen Delters. I'm the principal at Cope Center North. We serve pregnant students and mothers, teenage mothers who have children already. So it's just an awesome opportunity to be able to give back to this community.
Well, now, I know you were at the event with the African American Reading, and Felicia Hatcher was there with her book. How were you empowered by the event?
I believe in faith and serendipity, and this morning was that. Felicia touched me personally, reinstilling my passion and putting away the fear. So she has given me the opportunity to know that there's a book here and a book here, and somehow it has to come out. And I think if she can do that for us as adults, what can she do for our students? And she's meeting shortly with 29 of our students and many other Dade County students. So the inspiration, the passion that she brings to, I'm a C student, but I made it, that's what I'm pleased about today.
And that's probably something you can share with the students at the organization.
Right, so the good thing is, having met Felicia, she's offered to come by our school to do just that, to meet with our kids, to reinstill the passion for their lives. They've been so disenfranchised with a birth in their early pregnancy in their lives that unfortunately has disrupted their educational path. But I feel that she'll have a lot to offer to bring some intrinsic motivation to be successful.
Now, how did you get involved with the Cope Center?
I'm the principal there, and I've had the opportunity to serve for a year and a half. We provide the academic needs of our students to graduate, but in addition, we also provide daycare all day for the girls. They deliver their babies to us in the morning, they go to school, and we're so fortunate to have a medical clinic that does obstetrics, pediatrics, and gynecology. So we have a one-stop, all the services that they need. In this way, our girls can get back on track and graduate. Miami-Dade College, we're very fortunate, is a partner. Thanks so much to President Harrison, who invites us to all the events and provides scholarships for girls to come to Miami-Dade at the end of graduation.
That is amazing.
It is amazing.
What tips would you give to a young mother who decided not to go to school and said, look, I'm going to give up. This is not for me. I can't make it. Like, what tips can you give to a young person to encourage them that, you know, this is not the end for them?
Fortunately, that's what our school does. They can come to us, we take them at any age. Even if they only stay with us for a year, it gives them that opportunity to reinvest in themselves, to get enough academics under their belt so they can go to a GED program. So those are the girls we serve. We are able to instill pride, we're able to instill faith in the future, and just a self-confidence to go forward, because we provide all the services that they need to be able to focus on their education. It is never too late, and that's what our school does. We welcome them.
Mm-hmm. And now once they transfer here, do you follow up with them?
At Miami-Dade? Yes, we're so fortunate to have a Mrs. Delgado, who is our counselor, who comes over to us regularly, and we have that bridge to Miami-Dade, and we're in touch with our students all the time. So it's a successful story.
Thank you so much for being here. Look forward to working with you in the future.
Yes, thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Well, the African American reading today impacted me in the sense that I am an education major, and I was able to facilitate breakout sessions with both middle school and high school students and really focus on writing, which is something that the college has picked up. So we wrote about careers and we wrote about nonprofit, and it was really a great way to have the students be innovative and express their ideas.
Joining us now is Mallon with the wonderful organization that she's working with. She's here at the African American Reading. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, Susie, it's always a pleasure to see you. It's been a while, but I've been seeing you on Facebook. Keep up the great work, and thank you for having me. As you know, I founded and is now managing the FAM, the Haitian Women of Miami. The name, as we like to say it, is a misnomer, because even though the organization is FAM, Femme Haitienne Miami, Haitian Women of Miami, we are a one-stop center that provides services to low-income to moderate families, and then with the goal of strengthening families, because we believe that strong families make strong communities. So the services include mental health, domestic violence intervention, after-school programs for our kids, health access, which we believe is a basic human right, affordable housing, adult education and financial literacy, and lastly, and then most people think that's all we do, but it is not, immigration and advocacy services, because we believe that immigrants contribute to building the social, economic, and political fabric of this great nation, and then it is important and vital for us to not only treat them with respect and dignity, but afford them the right of due process, which is the most basic right in a court of law in the U.S. So in a nutshell, that's what we do, a one-stop center, so that when our families come, most of them do not have cars, they drive, they take the jeepneys, as you see on Northeast 2nd Avenue, they can access different services. So that's what FAM does in a nutshell.
And I remember growing up with my grandfather, and he used to talk about the organization. How long have the organization been around?
FAM was formally organized in 1991. However, I was a paralegal at the Haitian Refugee Center. I was a volunteer first, then I was hired as a paralegal. And while I was there, we were helping new arrived refugees who were detained throughout the U.S., helping them complete their political asylum applications under the Duvalier dictatorship, and then assist them as they come out into the community. And we realized that unlike other immigrants, which received the red carpet treatment when they were released from detention centers, the Haitians and other immigrants were left to fend for themselves. Thus the idea of founding FAM. And then FAM is unique in the sense that not only will provide services to strengthen the families, but we also give a voice to our clients. We organize around policy issues affecting and impacting immigrants, such as the temporary protected status, which was campaign we won after 3 years of organizing locally, statewide, and nationally, taking our clients and to the White House to advocate for the approval of temporary protected status. And then we just won a big victory, as you know, the Haitian Family Reunification Parole, after organizing locally, statewide, and nationally for 5 years, and an engaging group around, not only around the nation, but around the world. So we are able to pair quality life-saving services with strong advocacy and services, because as a licensed clinical social worker, I know and we know that we don't have the resources to help everybody, but what we can be sure of being able to give them is a voice to stand up and fight for themselves, a voice to stand up and say this country was built by immigrants from all over the world, and that it is important to not only give them a chance to adjust their status, students who complete high school, give them a chance to access higher education, because it is short-sighted to pay and provide the resources for our students when they come to our nation to go to high school until the 12th grade. And then when it's time for them to go to college, we say, no, you cannot go. How short-sighted it is. So we fought, as you know, for the passage of DACA, so that students, after they graduate from high school, they can continue to higher education. That's the bulk of the work that we do, and we believe in it because we believe in giving not only the services, providing the services, but of giving our clients, our youngsters, our leaders, young leaders, especially young leaders, a voice to advocate for themselves.
All right. Now, as we celebrate Black History Month, you said that voice. What tip would you give to a young individual that would want to get involved in what you're doing?
Well, be involved, volunteer. We are very lucky. We have students coming from all over. Last summer, we had students as far as Germany who came and helped us in our campaign. As a matter of fact, the main tool that contributed to the approval of the Haitian Family Reunification Parole, was developed, designed, and completed by students. So be involved. Have a dream. Follow your dream. In order to make your dream a reality, you don't need money. When we started FARM, we didn't have any money. For the first 9 years, we had no money, no grant. All you need is a vision to make a difference. And then once you believe that it can happen, you are able to do it. So follow your dream, decide on what you want to do, and then keep working at it. Do not give up. You fall 13 times, you get up 12 times. Eventually, it will become true. That's what we did. We can do it. We encourage the young people to come and volunteer. If it's not at FARM, anywhere else. Find something that you want to do. Find something that you're passionate about, and then pursue it. Do not give up.
Right. Students, you heard it here from an activist in the community. Follow your dreams. Do not give up in what you want to do. Thank you so much for being here at African American Reading.
Thank you for being an example for all the young people around this nation.
Aww.
We appreciate both of you.
Thank you.
All right.
Now stay tuned. Don't leave us. We'll be right back.
Cool programs for hot jobs. Let Miami-Dade College jumpstart your career. We offer bachelor's degrees in physician assistant studies, biological sciences, education, and public safety management. Or choose from 300 other programs. With our flexible course schedules, you can take classes during the day, evening, weekend, or online. For more info, visit mdc.edu or call 305-237-8888. Get the knowledge and training for today's in-demand jobs. Register now.
The importance of the African American Reading is to educate our students and the community at large.
Joining us now is Quinn Allen, who's a former student here from Miami-Dade College at the African American Reading. Now, did you enjoy the event?
Yes, I actually did. I actually found Miss Hatcher quite interesting, actually.
Now tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm actually a former student here at Miami-Dade College. I actually was the former president of the Miami-Dade Investment Club. I was also a part of PBL as well, and I was also in Phi Theta Kappa as a part of the Honors College.
Wow. So now you're not with us anymore, so you're somewhere else,
Yes.
right? So where are you now with everything?
I'm actually at the University of Miami, and I'm actually studying finance. I just recently transferred over from Miami-Dade.
Now I have to ask, how's the transition process?
Well, I mean, it's kind of long. You have to go through a long process in terms of transferring credits and stuff. But ultimately, I feel like Miami-Dade really helped me advance in University of Miami because I have a lot of credits taken care of. So I could actually graduate a little bit earlier than if I were to transfer from another school. So that's one thing that I really appreciate.
And transferring from here to there, you were a first-year student there. Like navigating the school, getting involved, was that hard for you?
Well, I mean, I try to focus more on academics for my first 2 semesters, and maybe in my senior I'll join more clubs because the difference in academic rigor is a little bit different.
And your major at UM is also finance?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. So now, did you get involved with any internships as of yet?
Well, I actually was a part of internships at Miami-Dade, but at the University of Miami, I haven't joined any quite yet because I'm still trying to find my way around.
So what else do you have going on? I heard that you have a business.
Yes, I'm actually one of the founding businessmen of a company called Captex Distributors. We focus on distributing pill capsules, and we're also working on this product called Hemade, which essentially reduces hemorrhoid tensions in individuals, developed by my friend Richard Telfeja, who was also a student here at Miami-Dade.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm really impressed. Like, this is amazing. Now, Felicia had you have a book, How to Start a Business on a Roman Noodle Budget. Can you relate to that?
Well, from a person who's only 20, I mean, one thing that I could find is that when you're starting off a business, especially a business that has to deal with a lot of medicine, there's a lot of things that you have to research, like all the different types of things with the FDA and all these different regulations in terms of the actual products. But once you actually solve that, I mean, it's really, really, really profitable. And once you find like a flow in terms of getting into a business, it's really easy and the money starts kicking in. And primarily, I mean, who doesn't want to make the money?
I know. Now, you are a prime example of a global citizen. Now,
Thank you.
Where do you see your business in the next five years?
Well, specifically dealing with Hemade, I think that it has the potential to be the biggest drug on the market because looking at the different types of pharmaceuticals out there, there really is nothing that sells it in terms of a pill capsule. There's creams and all of that, but specifically as a pill capsule, there's really nothing like it. And I think that because of that, I think our product has a lot of potential to really make it big.
Right. Now, what advice would you give to a first-year student in college at Miami-Dade? What can they do to get to that next level?
Well, I think that because of the different types of connections that Miami-Dade has to other schools, I think the primary thing they want to do is they want to balance between academics and actually being involved there on campus. A lot of times I've noticed that students are kind of extremists. They're either too much into clubs or they're too much into academics and they don't have any club experience. And I think that that's one thing that I would really tell a first-year student.
Finding that balance, right? Thank you, Quinn Allen, for being here today. We wish you the best in everything that you're going to do. Now, don't forget to come back and invest in Miami-Dade College. We're here to support you, okay? Thank you, everyone, for watching. See you next time.